The Johnson family had been searching for their dream home for years, and they finally found it in the quiet, picturesque town of Willowbrook. The house, a stately Victorian mansion with ivy-covered walls, seemed perfect in every way. The family consisted of John and Susan, their teenage daughter, Emily, and their young son, Daniel. As they moved into their new home, they were filled with excitement and the first few weeks in the house were idyllic. The Johnsons settled in, unpacking their belongings and exploring their new surroundings. The mansion was a spacious, charming abode with ornate details, hardwood floors, and a sprawling garden. It seemed to be everything they had ever dreamed of. One sunny afternoon, as Emily was rearranging her room, she noticed something strange. There was an extra door that didn't appear on any floor plan or layout of the house they had seen. It was situated in a corner, hidden behind a freestanding wardrobe. She called her parents, and they all examined it with curiosity. John, a practical man, assumed it was a closet, though it wasn't mentioned during their walk through with the real estate agent. He tried to open it, but the door was locked. After some investigation, they found that the door had no handle or key, making it impossible to unlock. It was as if the door didn't want to be opened. Susan, a more intuitive person, had a sense that something was off about the hidden door. She couldn't put her finger on it, but a feeling of unease settled in her stomach. She suggested they should call the real estate agent to inquire about it. When they contacted the real estate agent, he was just as puzzled as they were. He claimed that he had no knowledge of the hidden door and that it had not been mentioned in the property's history. The Johnsons felt a growing sense of unease, but the agent assured them that it was likely an old storage space or a sealed-off room. Nothing to be concerned about. As the days passed, the hidden door became a subject of fascination for the Johnsons. Emily, being a curious teenager, was determined to find a way to open it. She tried picking the lock, but her efforts were in vain. John even attempted to pry the door open, but it wouldn't budge. The mysterious door seemed to mock their futile attempts. One night, as the family gathered for dinner, they heard a faint sound coming from behind the door. It was a soft, mournful wailing, like a distant cry for help. They froze, their eyes locked on the hidden door. Emily's curiosity turned to fear, and Daniel clung to his mother's leg, trembling. As days turned into weeks, the wailing behind the door became more persistent, more desperate. Susan began to have haunting dreams, vivid nightmares in which she saw the hidden room, bathed in a sickly, green light. The cries grew louder, more anguish, and Susan found herself sleep-deprived and tormented by the relentless sounds. One evening, driven by desperation and a need to uncover the truth, Susan decided to consult a local historian about the house. She discovered that the mansion had a dark history. It was once owned by a reclusive family known for their peculiar, and some said malevolent, practices. The hidden room was rumored to be a place where they conducted occult rituals and experiments. The room was sealed off by the town's authorities after a series of mysterious disappearances. The Johnsons were left with a chilling realization. The hidden room held a dark and sinister secret, one that they couldn't ignore any longer. As they contemplated what to do, the wailing grew louder, and the door seemed to pulse with an ominous energy. One night, Susan, driven to the brink of madness by the incessant cries, decided to confront the hidden room. Armed with a hammer, she began to break down the door. As the first crack appeared, a rush of cold, damp air filled the room. The wailing grew into a deafening shriek, and the walls of the room seemed to twist and writhe. The Johnsons watched in horror as the room's interior materialized before their eyes. It was a chamber filled with arcane symbols, strange artifacts, and a tattered, old diary. The diary revealed the dark rituals and experiments conducted in the room, as well as the tragic fate of those who had disappeared. Terrified and overwhelmed by the malevolent presence that had been unleashed, the Johnsons made a hasty decision to leave the house that very night. As they fled, they could still hear the cries and wails of the tormented souls trapped within the hidden room. The Victorian mansion was left empty, its secrets now known to the Johnsons, who would forever carry the burden of the horrors they had uncovered. The hidden room, once locked away, had claimed their peace of mind, leaving them with an unsettling question. What other secrets lay hidden within the walls of the house they had once thought was their dream home?